Hey guys, welcome back to the third episode in the hip bump series.
Big three.
First we did the basic hip bump. Next we did the Kimura off of the hip bump. This time we're going to threaten a triangle for someone who's being a little stubborn. If perhaps the arm slips out and you can't gather the arm, I go straight for this. I purposely leave that arm loose so that he can post. So we're going to be working a triangle, one of my personal favorites. I've landed it in tournaments. I land it in the gym all the time. It's a really awesome option. Anything you want to add before we jump in?
It's a great, especially a long man option. You know, if you're built like a frog, then this is a murderous tool.
Yeah, well, and it's typically taught as something also that relies on flexibility, number one, athleticism, number two. It's taught as a move that has to be really quick. Yeah, however, of course, the quicker you can do it, the better when you get more technical. Yeah. But if you do it correctly and you apply your weight right, you really don't have to rush with this.
No, you really don't.
So let's hop into it. So, not going to go too far into the basic hip bump sweep. Same thing. You're going to isolate the arms, put them on the mat. Once you get good at it, I still throw the hip bump from right here, honestly, as long as I can get this outside hip out, because I can just turn and break that one. That's a little more detail and more tricks you can get into over time. But you want to isolate the hands on the mat. You are going to throw over just right here. Typical hip bump, you're going to throw your hips up and over, and you want to trap this arm. For this particular move, you're actually going to let him post on purpose because you want to create here I'll show you. Throw your hips in. You want to create this space right here. I like to grab onto the head personally, and here's how I create the space. So this far side leg that's typically doing a bunch of your driving in the hip bump, you're going to bring it up here, right up on his back. What this does, number one, it stops him from sitting right back into me. And number two, it creates enough space and pressure to where he can't move that. I mean, I can move in and out right here. He can't move this arm, and I have all the time in the world to bring this leg out. If, for example, he does move it, you just take the hip bump. Then he's giving you the sweep. So it really gives him the option. And you're okay with both. So here's what you're doing. You're coming up into him, throwing your hips, bringing this leg high, creating a bunch of pressure. You're going to scoop this outside leg out and through. You're going to lock the legs up, push the arm across. However you do your triangles, I personally unlock and get the angle again and apply your triangle. Last, I'm going to do it a little quicker. There it is. So that is the hip bump to the triangle choke, one of my personal favorites. Once again, I want to stress, don't force it.
No.
Get the technique right. As long as you keep your weight and that leg high, he can't move that arm. If he does move that arm, take the point, sweep him. I mean, both of these options, the Kimura was one, the triangle was another. The next one's going to be more positional.
Yeah. The only thing I'd add is make sure you're for real hitting the hip bump. Like, hit them with your hips, because if they catch on that they don't actually have to move and you're faking to set up something else, they may just shut down, kind of go like this. So actually hit them with those hips, and it'll prompt them to put that. Yeah. Make them believe that it's coming, and you got a whole world of options for you.
Exactly. Yeah. So, thank you guys for joining. That's the hip bump to triangle, one of my favorites. Any questions, once again, please let me know. I've run into most all roadblocks for that. I run it all the time. Like, subscribe, comment, interact with us, and we'll see you next time.